a governor going on television after a massive tragedy where we don't even know the number of people dead yet. You have this massive area that's been burnt to the ground.
Yeah.
And then he starts talking about taking it over for the state. That's an insane position to take.
It is.
Post-tragedy. When people are suffering at their most, they can't even believe it happened.
Yeah.
TV4 has confirmed Oprah Winfrey bought 870 acres of land in Kula in the central part of Maui. The media mogul spent $6.6 million from Ulupalakua Ranch. That's on top of 100 acres of land that Oprah already owns in upcountry Maui.
When I was on the island last week, I appointed Bob Fenton, one of the nation's leading emergency managers, and I mean that's not hyperbole, who's been on the ground in Hawaii since before the fires erupted as our chief federal response coordinator to lead our long-term recovery on Maui.
Just to review, the local government in Maui didn't use the sirens to alert residents to the fire, didn't allow access to water to put out the fire, and blocked the only exits out of town. This is one of the great scandals in American history. Many people should be in prison. Even Elon Musk himself said, they should be prosecuted if there is any justice in this world.
In a surprising twist, Joe Rogan and Elon Musk have teamed up to talk about something they find troubling involving Oprah Winfrey. People have been talking about Oprah doing some questionable things in the entertainment world. Now it seems like something is going on in Maui and they want to bring it to light. Oprah Winfrey, known for her success and good deeds, is facing doubts about her intentions. Some folks think she's up to no good when it comes to Maui. There's a belief that the fires on the island might not have been natural, raising suspicions about Oprah's role in what happened. To make things more complicated, Oprah and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson started a fundraiser to help with Maui's recovery. But some folks think this might not be as kind-hearted as it seems. Some people are worried that Oprah and The Rock are using this charity effort as a way to take money from the people of Maui.
But he said in a press conference, he said, we're talking to the Attorney General. He said, I'm talking to my Attorney General to explore options for the state to take over that land and use it to build workforce housing or build a memorial to the for the people who lost their lives.
Joe Rogan is known not to care what the world thinks and speaks his mind, and this time he's done exactly the same. There were a lot of rumors about the involvement of elites in the Maui fires, and he confirmed it by bringing a guest on his podcast. Recently, on an episode of The Joe Rogan Experience, Joe Rogan and his guest, Tulsi Gabbard, who served as the representative for Hawaii's 2nd Congressional District from 2013 to 2021. During their conversation, they delved into the response to the devastating fires that ravaged Maui. What stood out was Joe Rogan raising concerns about,
how is that possible? That these people could lose their home and then lose their land.
Surprisingly, Tulsi confirmed Joe's suspicion during the show.
The state, the governor, is looking at taking that land, taking ownership of that land. That it is unconscionable.
However, the concerns of the people of Lahaina, including prominent figures like Archie Kalepa, a renowned surfer and community leader, as well as native Hawaiian leaders and families who have resided in Lahaina for 9 generations, revolved around the state's interest in taking ownership of their land. Tulsi pointed out the irony that while the state was attempting to acquire people's land, they were offering minimal financial assistance to help them cope. She said,
what I heard over and over again was, no one from the county, the state, or the federal government has shown their face in our community. It is neighbors helping neighbors, families helping families.
And that's funny because Biden pledged to donate to the cause.
I want you to know, on behalf of the United States of America, all the nation, the American people stand with you.
This lack of help was particularly frustrating given that Hawaii already has the highest cost of living in the entire country. It felt like a cruel twist.
The lead disaster response administrator from the Biden administration stand there and proudly say, hey, we're giving everybody one $700 payment.
Tulsi Gabbard didn't stop at addressing the government's lack of assistance for the communities affected by the Maui Wild Fires. In the aftermath of the disaster, neighbors and families had to rely on each other for support and essential supplies because the government aid was absent. Tulsi went a step further and personally flew from Maui's main airport to a smaller one near the affected area to deliver much-needed supplies to the community grappling with the aftermath of the wildfires. Gabbard highlighted that the families and communities affected were left stranded due to the slow response from the mayor. Moreover, the government's plan to take control of the land only added to their troubles. In Lahaina, there was deep concern that the governor might swoop in and claim the land that had been home to generations of the community. Even Elon seems to believe in this. He tweeted in response to the clip, "The Lahaina fire tragedy highlights the importance of solving real-time information that is local." What particularly stirred public outrage was the glaring unfairness of the situation. People couldn't comprehend how the government could attempt to seize land from local residents when celebrities like Oprah Winfrey owned vast expanses of land. In fact, it's widely known that Oprah, who has spent over 15 years part-time in Maui, recently engaged in a significant land acquisition spree in the Aloha State. According to a report from a local news source, she spent approximately $6.6 million to purchase 4 parcels of agricultural land, totaling an astonishing 870 acres in Kauai, Maui. 2 of these properties were even sold by Ulupalakua Ranch just last month. One of them encompassed 520 acres that was acquired for $3.89 million, while the other, spanning 330 acres, cost her $2.47 million. The disparity between these actions is quite striking, wouldn't you agree? Adding to the buzz about Oprah Winfrey is her massive real estate stash in Hawaii. She just snagged an extra 870 acres, making her the owner of almost 1,000 acres in the area. Now, this has folks talking, and some even got a bit wild with conspiracy theories, suggesting that Oprah and other rich folks might have had something to do with those wildfires to expand their land empire. Someone on Twitter completely exposed her and said, Oprah Winfrey has been buying up land in Maui like crazy. 520-acre plot for $3.89 million in 2023, 330 acres for $2.47 million in 2023, 2 10-acre swaths of land for $100,000 each in 2022. In the last few years, she has gone from about 100 acres of land in Maui to over 1,000 acres. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a fire comes and destroys many homes near her land, but her land remains untouched. Sound familiar? In 2017, an extremely deadly fire destroyed many homes near Oprah's Montecito mansion, but her property remained untouched. After 2017, Oprah continued expanding her land in Montecito to over 70 acres, including buying a 4-acre complex in 2019 that was destroyed by mudslides only a few weeks after the 2017 fire. Wake up. People are scratching their heads, asking why Oprah isn't sharing some of her untouched land with the folks who lost everything in the fires. I mean, why hoard all that land that wasn't even touched by the flames? Instead of hitting folks up for cash, why not put that land to good use and help them rebuild their homes? It's got folks wondering, you know? She then tried to cover up her tracks by setting up a fundraiser with The Rock.
And so we have created the People's Fund of Maui that will put money directly in the hands of the people who need it right now.
But there's some shady business there as well.
Asking for money. Pure evil, in my opinion.
The United States Department of Commerce evaluated that the wildfire damage to be in the excess of $5 billion, signifying that the people of Maui require a substantial amount of money to repair their properties. Thankfully, much of the affected area has been contained. A report from the Maui County on Sunday confirmed that the Lahaina fire is now completely under control, with 2,170 acres burned. As more people investigate the legitimacy of the Maui Fund, there are claims that the initial $5 million contributed by The Rock and Oprah was essentially seed money, implying that taxpayers are now being asked to contribute to their fund. Allegedly, the funds provided by Dwayne and Oprah went directly to their respective organizations, and reports suggest that not a single cent has reached the wildfire victims. Another question is, why the heck are poor folks in Maui still waiting for their share while there's a fat $10 million sitting pretty in the bank? The public's getting all riled up, thinking those 2 celebs should have just forked over that $10 million to the victims instead of milking more cash from the rest of us. Oprah said that she and The Rock used their first $5 million to set up the People's Fund of Maui, but instead of handing over the full $10 million, they've set up this fancy system where we can all pitch in to let folks take control of their own cash. Problem is, that first video made it sound like the Maui victims would get a direct cash infusion. Now, here's where it gets juicy. Some nosy fans dug into the Maui Fund and found out it's being run by this entertainment industry foundation outfit.
Well, let's just see. Here's the People's Fund of Maui. If you scroll down and look, the People's Fund of Maui is a fund of the Entertainment Industry Foundation, or the EIF.
And guess what? Last year's audit spilled the beans that a big chunk of our donations goes to paychecks, ads, rent, and bonuses. So you're left wondering if this fund is also going to cover the organization's cushy expenses. What do the Maui folks get in the end? And brace yourselves for this one. The CEO of this outfit is hauling in around $700,000 to $1 million in salary. Naturally, this has the internet boiling. I mean, a billionaire and mega billionaire asking for handouts, and it looks like most of the dough is going towards admin costs. So now everyone's telling each other to cut out the middleman and just donate directly to the needy through platforms like GoFundMe and PayPal. Make sure the cash actually lands in the right hands. Both Oprah and The Rock are part of the Maui scene, with Oprah owning property there and The Rock having some Hawaiian roots. People are saying this whole fund idea could have been a lot cleaner and transparent if these two celebs just did a good old GoFundMe campaign. It's got the internet buzzing with controversy. One person said, by the way, Oprah and The Rock are raising money for themselves, not the people of Maui. Another added, wow, Oprah and The Rock's People's Fund of Maui? Check out the salaries of the execs of this fund that will put money directly into the people of Maui's accounts. $432,000 for the president of this fund. Research where you donate, folks. Many famous celebs are also speaking out. Bryce Mitchell recently won a close fight, donated $5,000 to Hawaii, and said that he thinks Satan is taking over the earth and he doesn't think the fires were natural.
Also, too, these fires in Hawaii, I don't believe that they were natural. I believe they were man-made. They're trying to take the land from the natives, and I want Dan Ige, a native Hawaiian, to lead this world in prayer against the power of Satan.
People are also wondering why they don't just use some of Oprah's land instead of trying to kick folks out who have already been through the ringer. It's like the obvious solution, but many are wary of bringing it up because Oprah's got that mega influence going on. I mean, we're not surprised considering we've seen the worst from her. This one person tweeted something super shady about her, and it's really stirred up the masses. They tweeted, "This is the greatest coincidence of all time." And it's not just Oprah, there's also rumors about other elites and their involvement in all of this mess. So here's the dirt. After those crazy wildfires, it turns out folks who lost their homes are getting hit up by slick real estate investors from out of town. These sharks are circling the disaster zone, trying to snag land that's been toasted by the fires. And you know what? The experts are straight up calling these offers predatory. Why? Because they're taking advantage of people's misery and desperation.
I just want to remind all you real estate investors around the world, like Lahaina is not for sale. Please don't reach out to these families and take advantage of them during the most devastating time of our lives.
Local authorities are finally stepping in to put a stop to the nonsense. I mean, imagine losing everything, and then some out-of-towners come knocking, trying to score a deal on your charred land. Take Goldine Lowe, for example. She's a Maui local who got the shock of her life. Right after the fires, not one, not two, but 5 offers landed on her doorstep to buy her house. The crazy part? Her house wasn't anywhere near the fire zone. It's like these folks didn't even bother to check. They just saw an opportunity to make a quick buck and went for it. Who does that, right? Nobody should feel like they're being asked, hey, want to ditch your home during a disaster and cash in? It's all pretty insane with so many people finally speaking out. It looks like it's game over for Oprah and all the sharks who are trying to make money from this tragedy. So, what do you think? Comment down below and let us know. If you like this video, click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be the first to see my next video. I post updates like this every week, where I uncover the secrets of your favorite celebrities.